Oh great, now I get to do another subreddit that makes me feel old. I'm not old, you're old. Remember Band-Aid tins? I think my mom still has one of these. Remember when Band-Aids had the little red string you could pull to open them? Never worked. Just pull and get a red string. I don't remember that. Fisher-Price house, school, farm, or garage. These were our peoples? Oh, I played with a couple of these dorks when I was a kid. They're super funny. I mean, look at them. They're just adorable. What do you mean by peoples? When you're born at age 48. Yeah, see? Young kids with that type of hairstyle. What is that, like the beehive or something? I don't even know what it's called because I'm not 73 at this point. But yeah, dude, that is true. The hairstyles will make you look way older than you are, even when you're like 8. Look at that guy. That guy is already a dad with a family of 7. Today, 8-year-olds are asking for the latest iPhone. When I was 8, I felt like I'd won the lottery if I had this pen. Same. Honestly, same though. Not an SUV inside. Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, I get it. But, to be fair, I think even among the largest SUVs that you can buy normally here in the United States, like I can go out and buy, let's say a Suburban, which I think is the longest running car in the US or something stupid. Came out in the 40s, let's not get into that. Watch Donut Media. Anyway, these cars probably got way less gas mileage than some of the largest, most ridiculous SUVs on the road today, which is insane. If this picture was indeed from the 70s like I suspect it is, given the faded color palette alone from this photograph that actually proves absolutely nothing at all, then pretty sure there was a gas shortage around that time too because of how shitty cars were and of course other things. It wasn't just shitty gas mileage. I don't want any of you to come to Twitter and yell at me about how I didn't know about this thing going on in the 70s like a war or what. I know! I'm aware of what was going on in the 70s. But shitty cars did not help the situation. Alright? That car right there that we're looking at probably got what? 6 gallons per mile? Don't call yourself an 80s fan if you don't know this band. Hey, the guy in the middle's the Yes Man from Yes Man, the dude with the seminar. McDonald's making the filling for their apple pies in the 80s. When did they stop actually frying them? Because I don't think I ever got to have one as a kid. I'm not exactly sure when. Now that was just McDonald's recently making their coffee, I guess. They don't do that anymore, thank God. And McDonald's is a little weird from time to time. Okay, I'm kidding, they were always weird. Now, this was a stereo. Okay, I'm not that old, though. I'm getting a little old. I'm not that old, okay? I did always want one of these, though. Back when I did collect vinyl, I wanted one that had a tape deck in it as well. Remember when the gas station attendant checked the oil, washed the window, checked the tires, air, and pumped the gas? Okay, really wish you hadn't written it like that, but no. Again, I'm not why am I doing this? I'm not the oldest person on here, right? There's no way. Damien's 63. He could be doing this one. Oh man, I grew up in a state that hadn't had attendance for like 500 years. I don't know. Isn't there only one state left that doesn't allow you to pump your own gas? I've grown up pumping my own gas forever, all right? In case you needed more proof that older hairstyles are one of the top reasons people from the past appear older to us, well, that and you edited her face, so that helps a little bit, I guess. I mean, not very much, but it looks like you smeared out, if she's got a wrinkle on the forehead that you erased. That's a little lame, but no, totally. Teenagers would have hairstyles like that would make them look 35 years older than they were, so I agree with that one. Well, the coloring over the gray hair and airbrushing away all the wrinkles has a bit to do with it as well. Do better. The eyebrows being added. Wait, what? How did I not even notice the eyebrow? Damn, yeah, what a crappy post. Who can still drive one of these? I can. I will not. I do not want to. And trust me, you don't want me to either. I will stall, but once I get on the highway, I'll be fine because then you don't really have to. Driving a stick's the same as driving a damn automatic once you get up on the highway, all right? You're fine on a road trip. I am not driving one of these bad boys in the city, though. Won't catch me dead, nuh-uh. This door weighed more than the entire car you're driving now. Yeah, and it wouldn't protect you at all. Oh man, cars from that era. Awful. Growing up, I never knew if I was opening the butter or leftovers. That's one thing my family didn't do. We never used these empty tubs as, not Ziploc, what's the word? Tupperware. Even though Tupperware is a brand name and not a product name. All right, what do we have here? I don't know Woolworth Company? FW Woolworth. Hamburger platter, 55 cents. Cheeseburger platter, 60 cents. Did you ever eat at Woolworths? I don't know what it is. I definitely never ate there. But damn these prices, baby. Enjoy a king-size Coca-Cola for a dime. Heinz hot dinners? Whew, okay. I wish I knew exactly what year this was, though. I kind of want to compare it to inflation. Kind of want to see what these prices would be today with just raw inflation, but I don't see a date anywhere on the image. So that makes it a little bit more difficult. Kids, not. There used to be a phone number you could call just to find out what time it was. Was it 411? Was it finding? Sorry, was it dialing the operator, or was it actually just a specific number you could call and it would read the time for you? Because that sounds believable. I've called the operator before. Do we still have operators? I mean, I feel like once Google caught on and other search engines followed suit, it was over for that poor operator. We were a Harvest Gold household. Copper tone, avocado green, Harvest Gold, standard white, new poppy red. I think I was a standard white house. To be fair, I am a standard white. Your mom thought you were riding your bike around the block for 8 hours, but in that time you went 5 miles away, explored an abandoned house, jumped over some garage roofs, attempted a Ouija board, built a den in the woods, and made your own fire. Yes, and let me guess, the person who created this also thinks that everybody who's a kid now is stupid and worthless because they spend their time doing something else they find fun. We're not all Stranger Things, bitch. How we had to unfriend people back in the day. Is it because you all have identical hair? Different colors, sure, but the same damn hair? Seriously, dude, they're all the same style, just slightly different from one to the next. Slightly different. Also, I never understood the crossing people out thing. That's just so fucking weird, man. We just had a list of places and numbers on a card next to the phone. Why did you put the ellipses there like it's some awkward thing? We just had this. Remember going through the phone book to order a pizza? I do. I used to go to the phone book to do all kinds of shit. But yeah, the internet really changed my world. I'm actually kind of glad that I was at the very tail end of the phone book being very commonplace still. I think some cities or towns will still have them, which is more of a novelty than anything else, especially with everyone having a smartphone now. But man, it was kind of cool. It's kind of cool going through and actually ordering via the phone. I haven't ordered over the phone from a restaurant in God knows how long. I think the last time I did it was because I didn't want to use Jimmy John's website, so I just gave him a call. When I was a kid, this was my idea of a gang to hang with. Girls, guys, black, white, skinny, fat, cool, dorky. No matter who you were, you fit in. Wouldn't it be cool if we could all play together again? Dude, what are you talking about? Segregation was still around when this show was on. Took until 1964 for that to get outlawed. It's so much more legal now. What do you mean? You're talking like it's a crime. It's not. Kids will be kids. All right, okay, they're allowed to play together, you freak. Please tell me I'm not the only kid in the 70s to have these. Hours of entertainment. Lol. All right, but remember, you can still buy these. They were not just a random product of the 70s. I had like 3 of these as a kid. And you're right, they're really fun. Woolly Willy, who the hell is this? Magnetic person. Oh, it's this thing. Right. That's fun. I don't like him though. Growing up poor. Sandwich bread, hot dog bun, hamburger bun, garlic bread. The struggle was real. I don't know. I never saw it as a struggle. The hamburger bun, probably. I didn't really like using regular bread as a bun. Not quite the same thing, sure. But the rest of it is totally fine. Have you ever made garlic bread using standard crappy cheap bread? I have. It's good. And as a hot dog bun, works just fine. And of course, as sandwich bread, duh. Remember using a knife or spoon to pry the lid open? Yes or no? No. By the time I started drinking Nestle Quick bullcrap, they were in plastic tubs, so. Remember when we didn't go in public wearing pajamas? Dude, shut up. Get off your high horse. I totally understand it, but I feel like a couple people back then definitely did, at least a couple of times, all right? Chill. If you know who this is, your joints hurt in the morning. Wait a minute. Sorry, I recognized him immediately, but only from a specific project. He did play a character in my favorite movie of all time, The Stupids. Didn't know he was called Captain Kangaroo, or not necessarily called it, but I mean, the show. I didn't know who he was outside of that movie at all. Yeah, Captain Kangaroo. I have a letter from him in response to a fan letter my mom wrote him on my behalf. Well, that's good. Just wondering if anyone else read this series when they were growing up. Encyclopedia Brown, Boy Detective. You know, I didn't read any, like, detective books or anything like this. I guess from my era, I was reading things like City of Ember, The True Meaning of Smek Day, never read the Lightning Thief series or the Olympians or whatever you want to call it, Warrior Cats, Harry Potter, shoot. What else did I have in there? The Great Brain is a little older, but I remember reading those books growing up. Remember when drinks came in these waxed paper cups? They do sometimes still, at least in my experience. Wow, there are a lot of images of these cups. Anybody else remember playing this? Yeah, I feel like a lot of people do. Not everyone, but a lot of people. I don't know anybody that beat it, though. Growing up in my generation, all weekends started with this, and all weekends ended with this. The Wonderful World of Disney. How old are you? Who remembers these? Wait, traveler's checks? I do not remember that at all. Never leave home without it. Still? If you know what these are, you're old as dirt. They still make caps. Not caps. You know what? Yeah, who cares? They still make them. The hell is this? If you know what this, you are officially old. Okay, it's glue. You push the rubber tip on your paper and some comes out. Okay, interesting. Friends, Iron Man's death was the saddest in the bear, okay, kid. Did they have scary movies when you were a kid? Me. We had scary everything when I was a kid. I'm glad you admit it and don't hold any nostalgia for this psycho crap. Who else had to read this book when they were in school? The Catcher in the Rye. No, I had to read The Giver, Tangerine. Let me see, what else do we have to read? Obviously, something from... No, I can't even remember their name right now. I'm having trouble remembering names lately. I think I'm dying. I have this exact edition of this book, same cover. I had high hopes when we got the assignment because we had to get a permission slip from our parents to read it, but I couldn't stand the book. I reread it about 10 years after high school to give it a second chance and liked it even less. Holden Caulfield was such a whiny little baby. I forgot that a large amount of people alive today have not a single clue what dinosaurs was. That's not what I thought you were gonna show me. I mean, I knew about it, but not that much. Fossil of a dinosaur skull found in Brazil. According to paleontologists, this is a rare species that inhabited our country during the early 1990s. Yeah, just a single family? Who all had these candy cigarettes growing up? Or who all had these candy cigarettes growing up? I'm confused on what that, never mind, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I didn't. I think I got a couple in trick-or-treating outings growing up, but not very often. Yep, and let's be honest, they didn't taste good. Anyone remember what show got you slimed? What show got you slimed? I do like that the copyright down here is Nickelodeon. That is correct. The show was Mr. Nickelodeon. Who remembers the church lady bit on SNL? I only do because my mom remembered the church lady bit on SNL. Dana Carvey was a master. With him and the late Phil Hartman, they could do anything. Back when Mike Myers used to be funny too. Why is Mike Myers not funny anymore? I'm sorry. I made a whole tweet about this. That The Cat in the Hat's probably one of the best movies ever made. That's right. You can take that to the bank or credit union. I don't care. Just cash it because it's true. I'm this old. That doesn't tell me much. I mean, to be fair, those juice bars were something. I remember those being okay. I do have to say though, the giant pizzas, those were good. I'm sorry. Pizza's usually pretty good. I've never had an offensively bad pizza. You know that old adage they say about sex and pizza? Anyway. Is that a cheese zombie? Kinda sad to see, but maybe it'll spark a fond memory for some. Oh, wow, that took a good second. Are these the speakers for a drive-in theater? I feel bad for people who never got to taste chicken that came out of this. I swear this thing added its own spices. What the hell is that? Now I'm curious. All right, let's see. This picture just hit me like a Tyson uppercut. My dad used to make popcorn out of this thing, and I remember my mom making chicken cutlets. Ours was yellow. By the time I was old enough to touch it, the numbers on the dial were gone. I had to ask for help to try and find the right cooking temperature. See, that's good though. Something that can last that long in my kitchen. That's why I'm very stupid and whiny about what I buy and put into my kitchen, okay? Not just hunting down brand names, but hunting down brands and items that actually back up the claims that they make. Anyone else remember this one? Yeah, what is that called? Like Hollywood Squares or something stupid? Didn't they try to reboot that or something? Paul Lynde was funny as hell. Liked him on Bewitched too. Who remembers these car stereos? Yeah, the ones that you could pull out of the car. The anti-theft stereos. Pretty cool. I don't know if the anti-theft was actually the idea. It makes sense to me, or makes enough sense. I also like that this is a picture from MacGruber. What's that movie, like 11, 12 years old? How old are you? I used to roll up in my Fox Body Mustang, detach the face of my Pioneer, and put it in the special black plastic case with the... Oh, yeah, dude! Oh, no way! The plastic case, I remember that. Steve Martin is 78, which is crazy because I thought he was 78 in 1989. I mean, he just went white a long time ago. Not white guy, but his hair went white a long time ago. If you've ever seen a picture of him when he's supposedly like 17 or something working at the magic shop in Disneyland, the dark hair is different, for sure. Also, just for those that don't know, the picture of him on the left is not him in 1989. That was a picture of him from like 2004, 2005 when he was in Cheaper by the Dozen, as Daddy Mr. Dozen. Who remembers watching this classic every year when they were growing up, and still watches it now? Oh, the Charlie Brown one. Okay. It was either going to be that, or one of the Rankin Bass, not claymation, stop motion animations. I know that the Frosty the Snowman one was not stop motion, but nonetheless, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, every year. We've all got our own special classics now. A grocery store in the early 1980s. All glass bottles, no plastic in sight. Ah, man. How much more expensive would it be possible to do that again? I mean, even if it were, companies would legitimately just refuse to go back to it because plastic is virtually free for them to use and never reuse. I'm this old. You are that old, but I feel like I had a version of this growing up. I don't know. We used to give away one of those, but it was 6 feet tall, so we'd hang it from the ceiling at work. One day, one of my customers is standing there looking at it and asked, "Do you win the stocking or all the stuff in it too?" And without hesitating, I told him, "Just the stocking. They're showing you how much you can fit into it." And he said, "That's cool of them. You could put a person in it too." The talking magpies. Heckle and Jekyll. Oh, wait a minute. Every rainy school day, they'd corral us into the cafeteria for lunch instead of letting us play outdoors and roll out the 16mm projectors to show us this cartoon. And every other Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny, or Popeye film from the 40s. This was in the 60s. All right, millennials are here. I love that a lot of generations have seen these cartoons. I saw it on VHS in the 90s and still remember the short. Pretty sure it was just Heckle and Jekyll that taught me all about different superstitions. So I am a much younger millennial. I don't remember these guys at all. Hell, I remember as a kid, my school had an actual 16mm projector. We would watch all sorts of stuff on there, but it was one of the worst schools in the United States. They actually had to send my mom a letter admitting to that. Old enough to have had the little round button on the floorboard in more than one daily driver. Yeah, what was that for? What was that again? I don't know. I just teleport everywhere. Y'all remember Miss Cleo? Miss Cleo's Mind and Spirit. All the answers are in the cards. I do not. I worked with her once. We were videotaping a radio show for something. We had 3 cameras in a radio studio. One was on a jib arm overlooking her tarot cards. She had this stupid Jamaican accent and she smoked a cigar. This was in the mid to late 90s, I think. Turns out she was from Los Angeles. Okay, well, her being from Los Angeles, I guess makes the stupid Jamaican accent comment slightly better, but still weird. Okay. Who remembers these? Don't they still make the drinking bird? Isn't it one of those things? Never mind. You can probably find it on eBay. Who remembers pulling a soda out of one of these machines? No, I don't. I grew up with all the modern machines that shake your crap up. My barber had one of these cool vending machines. It was a Coca-Cola vending machine, but it was awesome. Put in your money in the slot. The glass door would let you open it up. On the slide out what kind of pop, glass bottle you wanted you could take take, and yes, please close the door when you're done. Oh, all right. Yeah, sweet. Remember when clerks would carry groceries to car? I'm sorry. This is just old people bait on Facebook. This is just generational bait on Facebook. Because you can ask them to do that today. You can ask them to do that, all right? If there happens to be a clerk that's doing your bagging, sometimes they'll even ask you, like, you need any help getting this out there, especially if, you're older and you got a lot of crap to take out. I used to work at a grocery store. That's pretty normal, okay? If someone asks me, could you help me get this out to my car? I'm not going to go, oh, no, we don't do that anymore. No, come on. That's still very possible. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you see this? Ooh, writing in cursive, or just learning your letters in general. But I remember this paper more so for cursive and learning the size differences between capital letters and lowercase letters. That was a big thing. I may have been one of the last people ever to be taught cursive in elementary school. How bad my handwriting was, and continues to be. Yeah, I never got any better past 3rd grade. Today I learned the ages of the actors during the first season of All in the Family. How old were they all? What are the ages of the actors? Are they all like 24? Oh, okay, here we go. We're gonna... Carol O'Connor was 48, Gene Stapleton was 46, while Rob Reiner and Sally Struthers were both 23. It's always amazed me how old everyone looks in the 70s compared to the... Did you just say Rob Reiner? Oh my god, that is Rob Reiner! No way, dude! What the hell? That's amazing! I don't think I've ever seen him with hair! That confused me. If you ever used one of these perpetual towel contraptions to dry your hands in the 70s, you're probably immune to all forms of viruses and diseases now. Yeah, every single time one of these comes up, someone says those exact words in a comment. I used one of these in Finland. Oh, it was fine. It was fine. Do you guys think they don't get cleaned or sanitized? I mean, they can't be every 5 seconds for sure. But how do you think these work? Return before it's due. Who remembers what this is for? Okay, now wait a minute. Who doesn't? I feel like young kids still have libraries in their schools, right? Have they switched over to being completely digital like everything else? Because I'm just not sure. I'm not sure, but when I was in high school, I graduated 2014, and we were still using these. People were still stamping the books in the library, and the building was literally brand new the year I started going there. So they could have switched over. That's how Big Library tracked our data consumption. I never trusted that Dewey decibel system either. 1 minute, you're young and fun, and the next you're turning down the stereo in your car to see better. Oh, dude, I was doing that at 17. I don't know why. Just any distractions, man. We never worried about our TV being stolen in the 80s. It took 4 people just to move it a few inches to the left. As someone that owns 2 CRTs to this day, and one of them being one of the last CRT models that Sony ever made, the thing weighs 270 pounds because it's a widescreen 32-inch high-definition CRT. I have it for my games. Just wow. Yeah, although I don't think it was any lighter back when it was mostly made of wood and glass rather than just plastic and glass. I don't know. Call me old-fashioned or stupid.